Good morning, everyone. I thought I wasn't going to vlog today, but it is the weekend. I do have to shuffle cars, and first off on the agenda is to pick up RWB Ava. We've left it here at Elite Auto Center for almost 2 months. Actually dropped it off in December for ABS issue and then brake pad change, and then the holidays hit, January hit, I was in Japan and I couldn't pick it up, and finally today we're picking it up. Excited to drive this car. It's been ages. And then this afternoon I have to drop off the 458 Speciale so that we can get the steering rack rebuilt and do a service also. Pretty soon I need to service Ava and actually fix the wrap. Right now Ava is out already. They actually started upstairs since it's been here for so long. Beautiful F8 Tributo here and some GT3 RSs, 458. The car shop's still pretty quiet. It's still early. I think they're still closed in a sense, but I'm gonna go pay for my bill if anyone's here. White 458 Speciale, love that car. Alright, bill has been settled. Let's get out of here. Thank you so much to Elite Auto Center for storing the car. Let's not hit the F8 Tributo. All this while, I should have asked them to fix the TPMS sensors. So a few months ago, the handbrake light wouldn't go down because the handbrake light also doubles up as information for the ABS system and the braking system. So when the handbrake light lights up, there's something wrong with the ABS system. But now everything's okay. We have half a tank of gas. I don't remember the clutch of this car. It is so stiff. I keep forgetting that the GT3 clutch is way stiffer. And the boys were nice enough to actually disconnect the battery during the holidays and just clean everything out. Wow, nothing like the NA magic of this car. This car running a 4.3 liter naturally aspirated motor already. This car still needs a lot of TLC and a still pull. To sort out actually for the cluster, the TPS light, and then the airbag. We can get a cancellation kit. I will change the steering wheel later on to a deep dish wheel probably, and then yeah, we're just gonna lighten the interior. Might end up removing the airbag already. Forget also how low the RWBs are, scraping the chin on the road already. Hands down, 997 chassis by far my favorite amongst all the 911 newer water-cooled edition cars. Okay, car's finally parked and we're gonna switch cars. Grab the 458 GT3. So the 458 GT3 Spider, the other day I actually took it to classic speed and I noticed that the shocks were extremely hard. It's as if the gas in the shocks were not even working anymore, and just bubbles started forming probably in the suspension. Decided to just swap the cars out, and it gives me a good chance to actually bring out the Skyfiro. For those of you who are OGs to the channel, have been following me for the longest time, the Skyfiro is one of my drift cars. Douchebag. What douchebag threw garbage right there and couldn't even bring it up? Terrible. But the Skyfiro is my OG drift car, and it's been one of the cars that actually made me a custom car modifier, because this car has been through so many reiterations, from the A31 to the R33 to the A31 pickup to the R33 pickup to the R34 look, and then now it is in its final, I guess, final spec. I wouldn't say final, but I really don't want to modify this car anymore. Part of me wanted to sell it long ago, but it is sentimental value, so decided to keep it, and I haven't had a chance to bring it up, but this year is about reviving old projects and using them. Tucked here underneath in the basement 3 is the 458 GT3. Now this still has its Christmas wrap and it's already coming into February. And I do want to remove the Christmas wrap off this car. Oh my god, huge issue. I went to classic speed and probably scraped the light somewhere. thanks to Lit 63 or 63 Lit, I'm not quite sure what their actually name is, for hooking it up, but now I have to do it properly. And we're gonna drop this car off and start removing the Christmas lights also from it, because it's long overdue. It looks messy in general. It only looks good at night, and I hardly do any night events here in Manila. Oh, there's the ultra stiff suspension. I think if you're just commuting on close by distance, you won't notice the change in ride, but I've always driven this car long distances and I feel every undulation. I know when the suspension rides differently, and this definitely changed to become a much stiffer car. But one of my other NA cars that sounds so good. This one, and then later the RWB Speciale, these are the cars that are so golden in sound. It is the era where you're never gonna hear a naturally aspirated screaming motor anymore, because every engine manufacturer is going into smaller displacements, V6s, twin turbos, and it's not fun anymore. That's why, you know, I'm trying to collect as many naturally aspirated engines and cars as I can before they all die out. Okay, traffic slowly building up right now. And this is the hardest, roughest part of EDSA. It's got like double bumps left and right, really testing your suspension now. The car's just bobbing around. It almost feels like we're just riding on the air springs and not even having any rebound from the shocks. Gonna miss my goofy reindeer on the hood though. Okay, so let's see if we can swing out in one go. This is a wide steering rack, so should be able to get out. It's been ages since I've driven this car. Okay, one. ORCR to change air suspension. Clutch is super soft. I think I turned on the switches. Yep, ECU. Oh yes, we're alive. We're not alive. Okay, idle. Okay, idle's holding. Let's check the suspension first. Oh, the brakes feel like they're locking. Okay, that's not ready. Not gonna happen. The brakes feel like they're locking. Check the ride height. RWB Victoria. Recycled bags. Just setting the rolling height. This car needs an alignment too. I don't think we're able to take this out today. Better get the brakes led. So this is our air down. Oh, I love it. This one sits so well. We designed the shape of the body to the tires, and then this should be a ride height. It's not gonna happen. Dead shocks, old car. We're going to bring the M4 out, leave this car. So sad. Car's braking on the weekend. Super clean, beautiful. Obviously on fitments, the Advan GTs, the AP Racing brakes, little brake, and scraping it everywhere, I'm sure. I missed the JDM scene already, but here we are. Beautiful Mazda. Okay, we're gonna swap. We're gonna get out of here. All right, boring drive home. We're gonna swap with the 458 Speciale and head on to Modul. So sad we can't get the Skyfero. I spoke to Kyle and he said that we can try to rebuild the suspension of Skyfero by sending it to a local rebuilding specialist, and that way we'll save some money. So I'm gonna try that out. I've never had the RX shocks rebuilt. These shocks are probably one of my first sets of suspension, and you can tell that the car wouldn't rise in the rear, which meant the valves of the shocks were clogged, or the oil is also probably very thick. So we'll get that done. We'll get Skyfero out on the road, but it'll probably take a few weeks to get that out. Good thing I had the keys to the M4 and this car is working fine, except This car also has issues actually. When I'm high boosting and on the red line, it misfires, and I've changed plugs, but that's not yet the answer for this car. So gotta double check how to fix this car. I've been meaning to track this car since no one's really been picking it up, and should be a fun track car because it is a manual. This car on the other hand doesn't sound good. It sounds like someone's just forting in, yeah, you know how it sounds. Not the 2J that I wanted. Let's go. In terms of naturally aspirated motors, this is the pinnacle of Ferrari, the V8 from the 458 Speciale. This car howls like no other. Absolutely pleasure to drive and listen to. Don't need a great radio, just need open road and a couple of paddles. So this car actually has brand new suspension and it rides so much smoother. And even if this has thinner profile wheels because the mags are bigger on this car versus the 458 GT3, this car is beautiful to drive and take on long drives. One of the main issues that I have with this car is the power steering rack is starting to leak already. And if you talk to Ferrari, they will only sell you the full power steering rack, which is uber expensive. So I have a rebuild kit from the US. Hopefully it's the correct one, but it just basically needs a couple of O-ring seals. And then the tie rod boots also were not replaced when we did the full service at Elite Garage back then. So I'm gonna go drop the car off at Motul Flagship, and Motul has been our sponsors for the last few years and they've been amazing. So we're also gonna get a full service change oil on this car because we are sponsored by Motul, and that's part of the perks of being a Motul ambassador. Yeah, thank you so much to Motul Philippines. If you can, give them a follow on their socials, but the traffic's building up already and I don't think we're going to be able to do any pulls until we get to the Skyway. I do love the 80-kilometer limit now. Just got to Motul and sound check. Ouch. Flying exhaust sounds so amazing on this car. Jules is here.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay,
Long time. Happy New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year, Miss Angie.
So Jules and I are going to go out for a coordination meeting. Powwow lunch, but back here in the flagship store. Traffic was bad initially, but on the Skyway it was moving. Chinese New Year. To regalo ko kay Charlie. Look how beautiful this car looks. The gold wheels, I swear, when I painted gold, everything changed. Ferrari's best hits, the 488 Pista, the track edition Ferrari twin turbo V8. That's a fun car to drive also. I gotta bring mine down from the farm so that we can service it. Ferrari has been calling it back. And then the 458 Speciale, the pinnacle again for V8 engineering and even how crisp the paddle shifts are and just the overall styling. The 458 Speciale for me is timeless and I love looking at this car. And thanks to Motul Flagship Store for taking care of the car. So we're gonna leave now, go to lunch, and then we'll see what we can get up to this afternoon. We're in the car now. Jules is so gracious enough to bring me back to Rockwell, and we'll do our coordination meeting, and I'll update you guys with all the events happening for Motul because they have a lot of events. Diba? Drag circuit, car show,
yeah.
car meets, Sunday Cars and Coffee,
yeah.
And even I was telling them the City of Dreams you have next
Saturday.
Next Saturday, yeah. They're busy, and I'm gonna try to attend some of the events, obviously, but we're gonna see also which events I need to really focus on because I'm sure some of them are super big. Okay, yesterday we didn't have enough content, and we're gonna take the Purosangue out now, put on some mileage on it, and maybe talk about the car because I haven't really gone in depth with my first impressions. I had to put on a plate because that's the right thing to do. I did message our friend at Opus Exhaust, see if they have anything. I know Novitec already makes an exhaust for this car, but I wanted to see if there's another option that we can use. If the Opus exhaust is not yet available, then definitely I'll go with Novitec. I have exactly 100 kilometers on the engine, and if we want to do a proper break-in, it actually has to be going up and down the rev range rather than just being static on the skyway or the highway at a certain RPM, because technically when you're breaking in the motor, you want to cycle through the different vibrations and speeds of the RPM, and that will help with the whole, I guess, loosening up the rings and seating the rings, as they say. So we're gonna go and stroll around now, warm the car up, see if we can pass by the usual haunts and just wave at people. But initially, yeah, we're just gonna break the car in and give you guys more like info on the car, because I do have some things that I want to talk about this car. The suspension of this car, I would say, if it's just the waviness of the road, it rides really well. The 48-volt suspension, where it basically adjusts the damping and rebound automatically. You don't get a bumpy road button like you do in most Ferraris, but ride quality so far has been good. On Sunday, the usual car meets for people are BGC, Wildflower, and usually the Porsche crowd goes there. And then you have Petron right here in Dasma, corner Makati Ave, and usually supercars go there. And then you have the Esteban, which is the bikers and more classic cars. And then down the road from Esteban in the hotel, I forgot the name of the hotel, you have like the Miata Club of the Philippines, they meet there. And then UCC Rockwell, you do have a select group of people also that meet there. And then some people go out for a drive, and I usually just go out to say hi. I usually have breakfast at home, and then we'll just grab a coffee. So we're just going around now. I'm just gonna do a small loop, and we'll try to pass by most of the venues and see if we can car spot. This gearbox is so smooth, and the gears are so close. Warning, limited engine performance. What does that mean? Are we still in break-in period? I'm really still learning how to navigate this system. You have to wake it up by touching the center button and then sort of like swipe if you want to scroll. So right now, this is on vehicle, and it's allowing me to control the menu on the left side. So if I go down, trip meter, G meter, the ADAS is the assist, so I'd rather have the status, and then I can exit and then swipe and then go to my audio. Decided to get some gas, and look at this. It's like so many car spotters here. All the way around, and just getting gas, showing off the interior. I think the car has fans. The car spotters are going nuts. That is a expensive 997. For those of you who know, that is a GT3 RS 4.0, very limited edition, very expensive car. And that's probably running into the 20 million bracket already. And he didn't make it to PGA, I guess. And then we have a 992 ST, or a Touring. Looks like a Touring. So this is a GT3 Touring. It's a wingless 992 GT3, but that's my favorite. Two 4.0s?
Yeah, wow.
Whoa! So here's a... Oh, definitely. 992 GT3 RS. Like the option black with the slight gold wheels. Looks like a magnesium package. Carbon roof. Beautiful spec. If you guys actually call Keith, he can replace all this with carbon. So the winglets here in the hood, the front fascia, the side blade, the intake, yeah, you could get all carbon from Keith. Wow, the gang has replicated. Check this out, super speed yellow GT3 RS. We have a classic. It looks like a 997 ST. Or sorry, 997 classic. Oh, Kev's here.
How are you? Carl.
From Japan. Beautiful Ford 8 Pista. Got a Huracan, GR Yaris. Looks like a GLC. I don't know. Kev brought out the 997. Soon to be RWB. Soon. Next year?
Next year.
Next year pa? Mackinnon is
Evo was 6?
Mackinnon is
Oh,
a
the
6.
Mackinnon.
Yeah, Mackinnon is 6.
Dude,
But a Mackinnon is a special edition Evo. It's not just a 6. It's like the... Oof. I think this is Brian? Damn! Look at this setup. Rotiform. Are those Rotiform Steelies?
Well, they're not steely.
But I mean, they look like Steelies. But that's so good. It's so new that it still has the blue protection.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Safari edition.
Wow.
It's my crossover. Thank you.
Beautiful. Wow. That's the interior.
I know, but it's still enough. Still quiet. Alright, so much for bringing you around and showing you the car scene. That was a mini car meet at the Petron gas station, and I think they're gonna do a small fun run to, if I am not mistaken, south. We're gonna go pick up Archie now because he's early and I'm late. So I can see he's waiting on the corner. We'll create some space.
Good morning!
Good morning!
My Grab driver.
Let's go! Actually, don't know how to unlock the doors.
My Christmas gift na super tagal na.
Oh,
Super delayed.
Thank you.
Wow,
Good morning.
so nice. Good morning.
Everyone loves it. They're all like,
So ganda.
they're all like, your spec is to die for.
It is very. How do you like
They're
driving this?
telling them. Well, I've only done like literally like 21 kilometers in it.